This video is for you if you need leads for your business and you focus primarily on cold outreach and cold methods, organic methods, word of mouth, and you're not running ads. And I'm going to tell you how you can run ads without being nervous. I'm going to break down all the math for you and help you understand the fact that you need ads for your business. And once you realize this one thing, it's going to change your entire life. So look, I'm going to quickly draw on the screen here and show you what I need you to do, right? So I need you to take the money that you're currently making from cold outreach, right? Just take a small percentage of that to play with, right? It's a small percentage, and go ahead and put it into ads, right? And I know it's going to seem a little bit difficult at first because you're not sure what's going to happen, but I'm going to help you understand a couple things. If you right now have a $0 cost per lead because you aren't doing any ads, everything's, word of mouth, cold outreach, stuff like that, that's awesome, right? And let's say you're doing, 10, 20K a month, or even, maybe less than that, maybe a little bit more than that. You're happy because you have higher profit margins. And I can understand that, right? I can definitely understand that. But the issue here that you don't understand is that if you're making 10 to 20K, you're literally missing out on potentially 50K to 100K that you could be earning with ads, right? And what is that costing you exactly? That's costing you, north of 30K per month, right? And if we, over the course of a year, that's over 300K. I'm not going to do the exact math on that. That's over 300K that you're missing out on. So although you have higher profit margins, what really matters the most, right? What matters the most is higher revenue, right? Higher revenue, right? Not so much the margins. I'm not saying that having higher profit doesn't matter, because the thing is, you have higher profit margins here. So let's say you're making 20K a month, right? You're making 20K a month revenue, and then that's producing you, let's say, 15K in profit. That's great, right? But over here, in this scenario, where you're making 50K to 100K, you could potentially be making 30K profit to, let's say, maybe 70K profit, right? And if I had to choose between these two, right? If I had to choose between this and this, I think we know what the winner is, right? Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and choose this. I'm going to choose this option. Now, this is what it's costing you. Every day that you choose to not, every month, every year that you choose to not run ads, that's exactly what it's costing you. So I'm going to break down for you really quick why you don't have to be nervous to run ads, because the great thing is that people don't realize, it's kind of similar to like if you're at the gym and you're working out and you hear one of those people that are like, I don't want to hit the gym. I kind of just stick to cardio, or I don't hit the gym at all because I don't want to get too big. Let's be realistic. You're not going to all of a sudden get freaking massive, right, and have these gigantic freaking muscles out of nowhere, right? It all comes over time, obviously. This is a ridiculous picture, right? But let's say this guy's got some massive traps, right? Dwayne The Rock Johnson over here, right? The massive legs. You're never just going to randomly, let's pretend that's his hands. You're never going to randomly just get massive, right? That's not how it works. Okay? It's going to happen gradually, over time. So how can we relate this to ads, right? So let's say I'm spending $50 a day on ads. It's not like randomly I'm going to all of a sudden have spent $5,000 with, zero money coming back in, right? $0 in revenue from the ads. That's never going to be the case, right? Unless you're just really bad at running ads. Like, you're going to start off and be kind of bad at running ads. That's okay. But like, you have to be almost incompetent to just have zero revenue after spending $500. So the way that it really works is you're going to look at those earlier metrics, and I'm not going to dive too deep into this because I don't want to make this confusing. I want any beginner that's watching this video to kind of understand what I mean here. But real quick, let's talk about cost per lead. Every lead that you get, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform you're using that you're looking to get leads on, this platform is going to calculate what your cost per lead is. So usually I like to aim, for below like 15. Right, 15 or below. Now, I also like to look at click-through rate, kind of like YouTube thumbnails. You're looking for a higher click-through rate. Ideally, you want at least 1%, right? You want 1% or higher. So if I notice that my cost per lead is above 15 and my CTR is below 1%, these are early indicators that are going to tell me that I need to change what I'm doing, right? And stop spending money on those ads. And I need to go ahead and create more ads, right? And test more ads that I can go ahead and see if they're going to do better than these numbers here, right? Reach these numbers right here. So there's never going to be a time where you're just like spending thousands of dollars and getting nothing in return, especially when you're first starting, because you're not going to be spending some outrageous amount per day, right? Your budget's going to be somewhere, I'm assuming, like 50 to 200 bucks a day. You can also start off ads with like $5 to $20 a day, but obviously the more that you spend, the quicker you're going to see results because the platforms are going to test a lot quicker. So if my budget is $50 a day and I'm looking for, let's say, a $10 cost per lead, that should be getting me 5 leads a day, right? And of those 5 leads that I'm getting per day, maybe one of those books a call, right? I don't know exactly your system with your business, if it's like calls, appointments, or whatever the hell it is, but if one person books a call, that's a $50 cost per booked call, which is pretty good, right? Anything less than like 100 is pretty good, right? Mine is anywhere from like 40 to 60. So let's say I'm running 3 different ads, right, to start. 3 different ads, 3 different... Let's get rid of this one real quick. Let's redo that. 3 different ads, 3 different target audiences, right? So these are 3 different audiences. Audience, 3, 2, and 1. 3 audiences, and I'm going to take those 3 ads that I create. This looks like a face now. And I'm going to have those 3 ads running under 3 different audiences. This looks like a bowling ball, honestly, right? I'm going to very, very quickly know which one is the winner, right? Because we're going to be looking at that CPL. So I'm testing 3 different audiences to start. Not to get too complex with this, but let's say my budget is, like I said, $50 a day. That's about $17 per audience in the beginning. And let's say audience 2 and 1 don't do that good, right? Let's say the cost per lead is way too high. Then I'm going to stick with this one and put most of my money into here. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing $50 per day on this one. And then the cool thing is that Facebook or TikTok, they're going to actually stop spending money on the bad ads that aren't, doing as good. And it's going to find one winner, right? This ad right here. So now in the very beginning, I'll have found my winning audience as well as my winning ad. And then what I could do is going forward, now I'm only going to spend money on these 2, right? Only going to spend money on audience 3 and ad 1. And then when I go ahead and film my my next ad, or I'm creating my next ad, if you guys are using photos, I like to use video ads. When I go ahead and create my next ad, I'm going to make it similar to ad 1, right? And because I was looking at my earlier indicators, right, so my CPL, my CTR, and I'll also look at CPM and, overall cost per acquisition, of course, I want to actually get sales. As long as I'm looking at those things, then I'll know that my ad is doing good. So literally I'll just find a winning ad, winning audience, right? I'll look at those earlier indicators. Obviously, further down the line, after an entire week of spending or 2 weeks of spending, I need to get at least a sale, right? Depending on how much you're charging. If you're charging like $30,000 or more, maybe you get 1 sale per month. But if you're charging less than like $10K, then you want to see a deal within like a week or 2 with that budget especially. So what we're looking for is CPA as well. Like overall, once we look at these earlier indicators, and we could see that we are having really solid early indicators. Now I'm going to start looking at CPA further down the line, right? Cost per acquisition. And cost per acquisition is literally just how much does it cost me to get a sale, right? So let's say I'm charging $3,000. I don't want to spend, for me personally, because that's around my main price point, $3,000 for my VA agency, or less sometimes. What I'm going to go ahead and do is calculate, how much did it cost me to get this sale? How much did I spend on ads before I got this sale? And I want it to be less than $600, I want it to be less than 600 bucks. I hope I'm doing that the correct symbol there. Yeah, I did the wrong symbol there. Yeah, I want it to be less than or equal to 600 bucks. And sometimes I'll be, surprised to see that I get a $400, $300, $200 cost per acquisition, which is awesome. So I don't want you guys to be nervous about running ads, and I want you guys to stop focusing only on organic and cold outreach and spend a little bit of money on ads and look at those earlier indicators, right? The cost per lead, CTR, and then overall your cost per acquisition. And as long as your cost per acquisition is significantly less than the amount of money that you're making from the sale, you're good, okay? And stop focusing so much on having really high profit margins if you're making less than you want to make, right? If you're making 10K a month, but you want to be making 50K a month, right? And you want at least 30K in profit, but currently you're only doing like 8K in profit because you're only making 10K in revenue. Stop focusing so much on those super high profit margins. Sacrifice a bit of the profit so you can overall make way more money, okay? Make way more money, right? I think, it's not rocket science. It's literally not rocket science. Like, spend more, make more. And if you're trying to kind of preserve your money, and not spend it, and you want to make more money, you're literally choosing to not make more money. Okay? You're doing it to yourself. Stop being frugal, right? Because the money that is coming, because the way I like to look at it is the money that's coming into my business is a tool. It's a resource for me to make more. Every dollar that comes in, especially in the beginning, I'm trying to keep my expenses low in my personal life so I can put more of that money back into the business. And the great thing about running ads is that you can go to Upwork and hire consultants, right? So if you're nervous about doing it on your own, you can literally hire consultants for like 20 to like $100 per hour to consult with you, right? To consult with you on your ads, look at your ads, tell you what you're doing right, tell you what you're doing wrong. You can hire somebody in Bangladesh, India, Philippines, using Upwork, where that money goes a long way for them. And it's someone who's actually a professional and knows exactly how to help you with these ads. And they can literally skyrocket your business. Okay, so don't think that you have to do it all on your own. And the great thing is too, you can also hire a media buyer, right? You can hire a media buyer, VA, overseas, and they could be anywhere from like $4 to $8 an hour. Okay, and they can run your ads for you. Now, am I saying that you're not going to need to like produce content? And you're not going to need to like kind of take the direction with your ads? No, I'm not saying that. Like, you're definitely going to have to take direction, right? You're going to have to lead them on what you want your marketing message to be, the types of clients that you want to get, what you want your cost per lead to be, and stuff like that. And they're just going to be a glorified button clicker, person who kind of just monitors it, lets you know when ads are doing bad and you need new ads. You need to go out there and create new ads like videos and photos, or you need to have a graphic designer or video editor helping you with that stuff, and then you give that to the media buyer. The media buyer is not going to be a decision maker. It's not like they're an agency or consultant. They'd be working for you. So I don't want to make this video too complex. I feel like I'm going into stuff that I don't really need to, but stop relying solely on organic stuff. I promise you, if you just touch on ads just a little bit, test it out, and watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to make good ads, because there's a whole bunch of them out there, and I'm going to be making some too, so make sure you subscribe. I promise you, you'll be making significantly more money, okay? Stop worrying so much about profit. All right, so make sure you subscribe. Any questions, anything you want me to make videos on, comment them down below. Looking forward to making more videos like this.